Good morning. It's the Wall Street Weekly Wrap-Up, August the 10th, 2024, with your host, John Newquist. And what a heck of a week. Up and down, essentially flat. I mean, I know. People thought it was the end of the world Monday. Wow. We didn't sell. We just watched. Remember, we bought Friday. Like I said, we're nibbling in. We're just going to wait till September, add some more to our positions. AMGN, one of our core portfolios for a year now. Again, got the GLP-1 drugs. Missed by 1 cent. Revenues rose 20%. Not bad. Upward trend coming up. Again, didn't do so bad in the sell-off this week. You can see it. Everybody dropped. I mean, it was all red on Monday. But, like I said, everybody wants to get this oral GLP drug. Nobody wants to do the injectables if they can help it. RIVN, one of our auto companies, and I thought it was interesting. Revenues rose 3.3, and that's not bad. Autos, are kind of tough, and electric is even tougher. But it's doing better than Tesla. I think it'll sell better than Tesla. 13,000 vehicles. That's a number we're going to remember. We're going to watch. I think it'll be more by next year at this time, probably in the 20,000s. If I'm going to buy electric, it's going to be RIVN. Now, of course, $1.46 a share. They made a lot of improvements from RIVN 1, I call it, to the new model. It's going to be more efficient, more mileage, everything's positive, less cost to manufacture it, everything. So, remember, Volkswagen's 40% of the business now, owns it. And remember, they sell it to Amazon. So I think, pretty good company. And they don't get into politics either, so neither do I. The markets, of course, we're 12% S&P, and now we're down 11.5. A lot of people took a hit. I mean, if you got panicky and sold and thought it was the end of the world on Monday, it was pretty bad. I mean, we didn't have anybody that did real well then. And I just showed the Russell 2000 because once you start Friday and the sell-off started last week, the Russell dropped along with everybody else. It wasn't an area. A lot of people. Tom Lee's still talking 50% up on the Russell at the end of the year. I don't know. I mean, there'll be rotation if the economy's good and the interest rates go down, which is going to happen. But I don't know, 50%. Why not just say 20? That'd be a good year. That's a good year for anybody. And the indicators, crude's in the 70s still. Kind of peaking up a little bit, but it's still in the 70s. And natural gas got back up above $2. And the metals kind of flat. Look at this copper. It's ready to go down. So I just showed the crude oil chart. You can see I drew a line. There's our support. It's going to hold 70 or so. I doubt it ever gets below it. But, they're going to start buying in the strategic petroleum reserve. So that's good, too. So I think oil is going to be solid. As long as it stays at this price, Exxon and, ConocoPhillips will make money. ELF or ELF, they call it ELF because CNBC is calling it ELF to the CEO. I think that's what we call it. Somebody's no, it's ELF. All right, be still. 50% revenue. That's incredible. They are killing it. I tell you, the ELF products are half price. Estee Lauder, Ultra, half the price. Same ingredients, made with different companies, quality ingredients. That's why it's selling at Target and Walmart. It is half the price, and it's doing well. And I think this has got to be in your, retailer portfolio because this company's doing good. Now it's flat, but you have to remember, we ran up pretty good, but like anything else, the market's trying to digest it. I think ELF's good. The consumers pulling back, they will, but I don't think a lot of people. If you're going to get up and you're going to put, eyeliner, facial scrub, day cream, you just might go to ELF instead. You start thinking $35 for, Estee Lauder, $15 for ELF. Maybe I'll try ELF. Maybe you'll try ELF. TKO, that's WWE and UFC, and I'm a fan of the UFC. 178% revenue drop. Like I said, we churned sideways. You can look at this chart from October to about March. It churned and it's been slowly marching up. And I think it's going to go up. This is a stock that has sellouts. UFC 304 sold out. You know, people pay per view is good. These guys are, you sell 16,000 tickets at whatever, $200 an average ticket. That's not a bad night for a bunch of fighters that are not making that much money. Keep on waiting for them to give the fighters a little bit more money because they are making money, but they are doing well. And they're going to license. Remember, the ESPN deal for UFC is up next year, and I predict it's going to double it. So they're going to get more money to broadcast the fights because live sports is important. And WDB's got its life its own. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I mean, I'm kind of watched here and there, but there's thousands upon thousands every week watching it and going to these matches. Arrowhead, revenues fell 100%. I fell off the chair. Well, they didn't get any revenue. Remember, they're doing work and they're doing research and they get grants and raise capital to do the research. But it's been choppy. Nonetheless, say choppy. If you bought at the peak up here in January, it's been a tough year for you. But a slow blue line uptrend. So we're gonna watch. We're watching. If it does break below the October lows, then we would sell it because we tried. Berkshire Hathaway. This guy has been selling Apple. He sold half his Apple. That was his largest holding. I mean, of course, Apple was doing good for the rebound, and so he's kind of reduced it. He doesn't get much tech, but he did like Apple. I guess he uses Apple, but slow uptrend. Berkshire Hathaway. If you bought it in January at 540,000, it's not bad. You're doing good. I always say it's like the S&P 500, but it really isn't. It's got a lot of insurance and Apple and Coke. Airbnb, this is the magic stock. Everybody says, okay. You buy it in November, like everything else that was tech or, internet or anything else. November was a low, and look at this thing. It shoots up from 120 to 170 and then falls off a cliff over here. I'm telling you, I deal with so many people that are opening a house and using it as an Airbnb as a second income. And it's a lot of money. I mean, some of these people are getting $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month for renting out their house near the lake and the beach and everything else. So, and they broker it. They're no different than Uber. They broker the cab ride to you. It's an interesting stock. It's when you break a trend line like this, that's a pretty big deal. So where do you buy it? Well, you buy a support. You're going to get a chance to buy it again at the November lows. Something we're watching because it's not a stock that's going to go away. It's worldwide, and as it gets more good and more people pick it, these people are making little mini hotels out of there. This is their retirement plan, and a lot of work to get to retirement. Eli Lilly, just a juggernaut. Holy smokes. Could have bought it in the 700s when it collapsed because, it got too high for itself. Almost got to the 200-day moving average. I would have bought it then for sure. But, I mean, stock you could have bought in the 600s and now shoots up over the 900s and stuff. And, going to have the oral pill. I think that's amazing because, oh, yeah, they got the injectable Mounjaro. Look at this, 214% sales increase. Going to get universal health coverage. So I think Lilly's doing well. Well managed, good pipeline. Revenue's up 36%. It's going to be $1 billion stock. This is the stock. If you got a chance to buy it at the 200, not so bad. It's back up at the 50 and maybe ease into it. Going to have a 10-to-1 split, they said. I don't know. We'll see. The Hang Seng out of Taiwan, boy, look at that drop. That thing is horrible, The worst day in 57 years was Monday. 57 years. You're not talking a little jump. That thing went down below the 200-day moving average. Nothing wrong with it. Again, it's the world fear of economic slowdown. Of course, the Nikkei, largest drop since 87. Remember the crash of 87. Look at that drop. Japan bank increased interest rates because they have to. You can't run on negative rates and everything. The currency's getting hammered. I didn't check it today, but I mean, it was like 170 yen to a dollar. Wow. When I was over in Japan, like 2017, it was like 130 yen. So again, we made our own category. There's 11 stock sectors, but I call one of the 14 that we have transports, because it counts everything. It's got all these stocks here. Let me just do something real quick here. If I can do the magic of the internet, I can move it over here. These are the stocks that I watch in the transports, and you know, we got Ryder and Matrix, and the iShares, you know, fairly flat. There is an interesting trend line that we're going to see because we have support. But you know, look at the transports. Generally, a lot of positive areas. How do we do? Ryder up 10%, Matrix up 9.6. Some of the other ones, you know, the planes, trains, and automobiles, not so good. But you know, I think overall they're going. Like I said, we want to buy. You know, who's the industry leader? Well, it'd be Uber. Uber's at 15%. You know, Uber's got a lot of money. I like Delta for the best of the airlines, and but you know, the airlines are doing pretty good. They're starting to see less bookings. That's important because that means the economy's tightening. Everybody's telling us. Everybody's, you know, consumers tightening, spending less. Discretionary spending is getting cut. Travel, going to do less. How's that going to affect some of these other ones? Well, it depends. If the economy is good, they'll be shipping products. Ryder, you know, rents and sells equipment, but essentially uptrend. You know, you look at, remember, we're going to look at our chart, essentially flat for the transports overall. This is uptrend. That's what we want to see. And revenue rose 10%. That's good. Matrix, our shipping company, again, another upward trend. That's what we like. Revenues rose 9.6. So not too bad. I mean, you know, the shipping companies are doing pretty good. Heat map at the end of the week, not as bad as it was at the end of Monday. Look at this. Amazon a little down, Google, Apple, all these companies a little down. Lilly, Intel, you know. Like I said, we only eased into Intel a little bit. And Intel is going to be, I think, a management issue, you know, but we'll see. You know, we're going to get into it. I think, you know, people have to remember they can make the chip. They just can't produce the chip. You know, that's the big difference. It'd be like you have the greatest cake in the world, but you don't have an oven to sell it, make more, you know. So with that, we'll see you next week. Hopefully it'll be a calmer week, you know. Rate cuts are going to be in September. A lot of hope for half a point in September. But everybody agrees it'll be at least a quarter. So we'll see. See you then. Have a good, safe week, and I'll talk to you later.